Hey, quick question. Do you love people? Do people love you? Today's topic is plain and simple. Today we will be talking about love and how important and essential it is in our lives in order to be able to function to the best of our ability. So sit back and relax and enjoy today's episode of the Bump Podcast.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Bump Podcast. I'm your host Shamir, here with my co-host and beloved brother, Nabil.
I see what you did there. Hello everybody, thank you for joining us on today's episode. We are excited to talk about today's topic. What is today's topic?
To love each other, to love one another. Today is actually National Love Others Day.
Didn't even know that was a thing, but hey, that's good. It's a thing.
Every day is a new national day at this point. I remember that trend started in the early 2010, 11, 12. Yeah. That's where those trends started. There's a special day for everything now. And then it's just everybody created a trend. And now every day has some of the days today has a bunch of other stuff. Anyways, thank you guys for supporting. Don't forget to comment, and subscribe. Thank you for those that have given us their undivided attention to listen to podcasts on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. Anyways,
don't forget to click on the ringle dingle dingle.
I forgot that. Wow, that's terrible. Anyways,
unbelievable.
But yes, get notified when we upload every Wednesday, as always. Today's also Orange Shirt Day.
Dang, we missed out on that one.
That's terrible.
We're wearing blue instead, representing the Bump logo.
Yeah, for sure. More important than an orange shirt. Anyways, National Mud Pack Day, National Chewing Gum Day. You imagine we would be here.
I'm sorry for all you audio listeners. You guys are gonna hate us for that.
That's smacking. Terrible.
Oh man.
Anyways,
makes me cringe.
Bill, let's break it down for them. See what we could get out of.
What does love mean for all of you? Well, I can't hear you, but make sure to comment down in the comment section and let us know what love means to you. Obviously, we're going to our friend the dictionary to let us know what the definition of love means, which is simply put it, an intense feeling of deep affection.
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, sit on that for a minute, right? Deep affection. And I think a lot of people can misinterpret that in different areas. You know, some people can immediately just go to I'm in love with you, or I absolutely love this sport, or this, my trophies and medals that I've gotten, things like that. What we're trying to focus on is literally loving everyone. Well, Nabil, that's impossible. There's a lot of pieces of craps out there. There's people who mistreat me. They don't disrespect me. And quite honestly, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care to love people. For what? All it does is just hurt me. Yeah, but I think because love is the most beautiful thing in existence and also one of the most painful things in existence, there's that balance, that yin and yang to it, if you will, sure. where you need to kind of find your way, and it's not going to happen overnight, and I don't even think we've even mastered it yet. It comes throughout years of experience and years of making either a wise decision or the wrong choice of how you're gonna love and how you want to be loved. Yeah. Let's be real, because obviously you want to be loved by people, and when you kind of feel like it's easier to give out than when it's the opposite way.
Right.
So we're gonna try and not drag this out longer than it needs to be, but in the same breath, we want to be able to cover as much of it as possible. And I think in future episodes, we're going to be able to talk about this with different people. For sure. Obviously, this is a good Valentine's Day topic, but I don't think it's essential to be just for that particular day. One day a year, I love you. Tomorrow, I'm going to hate you again.
But I think Valentine's Day is more of love, falling in love, not just love.
Not necessarily, because they've kind of promoted. I remember back in school, too, they've always promoted it to us. They promoted it to us as just a friendship type of thing, too, because,
I've always seen it more as I fall in
they sell it to you that way,
right,
marketing wise, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, you go out and you buy chocolates, and you go and buy flowers and little cards and things like that. So yes, they kind of market it that way, but
I think overall we should love each other. I think one of the main things that people should look at it is it's incredible how nowadays people lean more towards negative and hating people or hatred, and you know, like for example, all the wars that are going on in the world right now, just over territory, power, and all types of stuff that are so irrelevant at the end of the day. Because like once these things stop or take a halt for a little while, and there's peace, I mean, people enjoy more being with their families, their loved ones, the people that are loyal to them, and all these things. And you're just like, you lean right back to what we should have just been doing this whole time. The other day, one of my lady's friends, we were sitting out back and we were talking for a while at night, and we were just saying like, why can't we just all sit down? It doesn't matter what race you're from, what political party you're from, what's your belief system. Why can't we just sit down and hang out? Why can't we just all like come to amends to a certain point, or just like leave all our egos aside and just hang out, just live, you know what I'm saying? Like there's so many things that are way more important out of life and don't receive the amount of importance that it should. And then the most irrelevant and negative things, it's like the influencers and all that we were talking about recently. Like people are giving importance to the most ignorant and closed-minded people on this planet, but yet those are the people that are getting famous. Those are the people that are being 100%. Recognized and receiving awards for what? Like what are they bringing to this world other than division, hatred, negativity, and inspiring others to do just negative as well? And let me be just as stupid as this guy so I can make all this money. And it's just like, for what? Like now everywhere you go, people don't like you. You get what I'm saying?
For the dumbest thing, they just don't like being around people.
And then you're like, okay, well, that's not the only way to get famous or to get an accomplishment out of life, for example. Because there's a lot of people that are famous or that have achieved a lot of accomplishments, and people love them. Yes. Most people love them. And it's just like, why is that? Because they did the right thing. What is the right thing, Shamir? Well, anything that society portrays to be a good thing. For example, being a law-abiding citizen, giving to the community, helping others, showing
being of service.
Showing, for example, for the believers, the love of God. Because that's another thing. A lot of people, like, for example, I might have differences with you, but that doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop loving you. Or be like, oh, I hate you. No. You know, like I'm burning like Anakin on episode 3 of Star Wars. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hate him, but yet this is the guy that made you. You see what I'm saying? Yet, and it's crazy that I'm using this anecdote, right? But like Obi-Wan still said that he loves him, right? That he cared for him.
Well, he said he loved him, like past tense.
Well, but
like doggone it, I loved you, and look at what you become. Like what you're doing.
Look at what you're doing to everybody, to your wife, your future kids that are on the way, all these things. But why? Because he was more influenced on other things.
He wanted to
didn't have a mind of his own, right? And beyond, you know what I'm saying? Ulterior motives, instead of recognizing, like, man, like, you have genuine people that actually cared about you, but because you have a different agenda than they do, or you want to be on top of them, now the love and all the good things that you could have had in abundance are gone. You get what I'm saying? So then what I'm trying to say, and what I want to bring today on this topic of love is evaluate the things you are doing, evaluate the people around you, evaluate just everything in your surroundings, and see what is more important. Is it the love that those genuine people give you, the care that they have for you, the things they do for you unconditionally?
Yeah.
And then the other things that are just the negatives that maybe it's the things that you are doing. You get what I'm saying? Because when I was doing my life out on the streets and in crime, I didn't care for the people that loved me. I was just like, well, whatever's my benefit. Sometimes I make so much money and whatever, didn't give mom nothing for the rent. Didn't bring no food home. I was out in the strip club, or I was out hanging out with other people, blessing other people with drinks and food and all that stuff. It's like, why shouldn't I be eating and drinking with my family right now? You get what I'm saying? Like, the people that actually love me, these people have all faded. I don't know where they're at. I don't know what they're doing in life.
Right.
Years down the road, you're just like, but yet the people that actually love me and care for me are still around throughout all that stuff. Even me giving them back to them, me going to prison and all these things, they still stuck next to me. And I will be forever grateful for that, you know. And then when God gave me my son, you know, that
a new area of love opened up.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. Last night I was sleeping with that kid because he cried a little bit around like 2, 3 in the morning.
Oh man.
And we just got him a new bed and whatever. And best feeling ever, man. Like sometimes I'm just like, you know, it's such a blessing to see the offspring, the new generation come up, and it's just a whole nother level of love. If you're not a parent, and the day you become one, you will understand what I'm saying. If you are a responsible and caring parent, for sure, you will understand what I'm saying. And honestly, it's a blessing and a half. And I don't let situations determine my love for people or things. I know who I am as a person, and I know what because everybody has bad situations in their life on a constant basis, you know, and errors and trials and tribulations and all these things, right? But once you find yourself as a person, you know that love will always be an important thing for your life and the things around you, you know. And the more love you show to people, people will show it back to you. We always say this on the podcast, that we everything reciprocates to what you give to life, you know. So I firmly believe that love is just so essential in our lives because it makes you feel good. It gives you internal joy and happiness, and
that's it. Yes,
just so much beautiful things. I enjoy it. I enjoy love, and I will always enjoy love and every factor of love, you know, my relationship with my girlfriend, my son, my parents, my brother, my friends.
I was like 4th or 5th on that list, right, guys?
Jesus. Well, my brother's number 1.
I'm just kidding. What the heck? No, I shouldn't be number 1.
So, you know, my love for God, my love for the world, man, and the beautiful things out there, you know. When the sky is gray outside, when it's raining, or we wake up into like a gloomy day, all that stuff, I kind of feel like the world. I just want to chill, really don't want to deal with anything. But when it's a beautiful blue sky and a nice wind, it's sunny out, and we wake up to a beautiful day like that, I just I love that. And that's what makes me want to go out there when I walk out the door of my house and be like, you know what, I always want to be a genuine person. Is there things in the way that the enemy wants to use as a tool to mess up that love, that happiness, and that good you want to bring to the world? Of course. But again, that's for each person to discern as these things develop in your life on a daily basis, for you to recognize and be like, I'm not going to let this change my goal for today of showing love to people, showing that I care, showing that I'm willing to be there for people, you know?
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I want to talk about again, there's going to be multiple areas we're going to talk about, but the kind of scientific and health side of the benefits of love. Yeah. Some of the effects, right, on our health. It reduces stress and anxiety. Love can help us reduce those levels, which is super important to have, again, because, you know, we might be stressed out by either trying to find a job, or if you have a job, you're dealing with the stressful environment, perhaps, or the tasks at hand, or even your coworkers, or perhaps management, whatever it might be. And just knowing that you have your coworkers or your families loving on you, having your back and supporting you, you know, that definitely reduces all of that. Improves your heart health. We need to take care of our hearts, because if we don't, you know, have a heart attack, boom, you're gone.
Out of the game.
Not everybody dies from a heart attack, right? But, you know, many people have. And so we need to make sure that we take care of our hearts in more ways than one. Deep breathing, prayer, meditation. Yes, doing yoga. We've talked about that plenty of times before, but it's all super important things to take care of our hearts. So definitely make sure you do that. That's top priority. Boosted immune system. Also better mental health, right? If you feel loved, you'll be able to sleep better at night than feeling like you're unloved, you know, no one cares for you, and you know that makes you kind of go into a dark hole that, you know, you don't want to be in. So that's that side of things. Also, science has shown that love is a complex emotion that involves many biological and chemical changes in the body. Okay. Love is associated with the release of several hormones and neurotransmitters, including dopamine. You guys can look all this up if you need to. But essentially, dopamine's activities in the brain that can cause euphoric feeling. Oxytocin, helps people feel calm and content, and can help form deep bonds. Man, how important it is to have deep bonds. I mean, Shamir and I have a deep bond as brothers. You know, we've been together in the highs and lows moments, and we're always there for each other.
Oh, yeah.
But we also have friends that we have deep bonds with and connections with, that we know that if we need anything, they're a phone call away, and they're going to be right there to support us in any way that they can. So that's super important. Serotonin levels drop during the early stages of love, which can cause increased cortisol, stress hormone levels. You definitely don't want that. Testosterone and estrogen released during lust. That's another conversation for another day. But that's also super important to have too when you're, getting the jiggy on and stuff like that. Keep that in mind. And then last but not least, the vasopressin release during attachment. Use your head. What does that mean? We'll leave it at that. That's on a scientific level. And I think it's super important to talk about that because our bodies work in a particular way, and you need to know how to manage it, how to take care of it, and, how to treat it on a day-to-day basis. Some of these things won't come overnight, so you guys need to make sure that you do your homework, your research on how to be able to take care of yourself. We're living proof that we're not perfect at it. For example, he's skinnier than I am. I'm still trying to work on this in various ways, but I'm also trying to work on my mental health and my emotional health as well. So it's a lot of things I'm trying to personally balance out. Some things are more than other in terms of priorities are first. But are there any particular priorities you got going on in terms of your body, in terms of how you treat it with love, how you receive love, and how your body's reacting to it?
On my way over here, I was actually, it's crazy that you say that because I was really thinking about the love I have for myself. And I'll be honest with you, I do have a certain love for myself, but I'm at a point in my life that I have so much going on that I have literally, I would say, disrespected my body in the past couple weeks, man, honestly. And I'm going to bring it on the show real quick. I consume medical marijuana for multiple purposes. I don't do it on a constant basis, but lately I've just been consuming it frequently on a weekly basis, to the point that I've my eating habits have definitely. So
you've abused it a bit?
Yeah, and it just got to a point last week where I was just like, all right, I'm cutting off. I'm just gonna use it once a week, like I usually do. That's the norm I've been doing since last year. Literally once a week on the weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, whichever one of those 2 days. That was the discipline. But it got to a point where lately it's just been, or somebody's birthday party or celebration, and you just get together with people. And it's not that I abuse it to the point where I pass that and I forget, because the other day we were here for the hurricane, you saw that I consumed it, and I just get giggly happy and I eat. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just honest, because why come on here and just be fake about things?
Yeah.
But when a lot of times when I've loved myself in certain moments, you've seen that I've been very on point. I look well. I eat a lot better. I work out, or I do things.
Yeah.
But just lately, the past couple of weeks, I literally just cut off this last week, just that habit, because this is I felt also my dreams were getting very dark.
Oh wow.
And
interesting.
Breathing was a little bit tough, and I'm just I can't be doing this. If you consume medical marijuana once a week, or maybe 1 or 2 times in the month, you won't have these issues. You know what I'm saying? But if you're doing it on a constant basis, 3, 4, 5 days out of the week, and then you're eating unhealthy too, it all crams up to the point where it's just now it's like any drug in the pharmaceuticals. If you abuse it, you're gonna hurt yourself. But if you use it correctly, it could help you.
Yeah.
So that's just where I'm at. And then I cut off, and I started drinking water again, and I started eating a little bit more and healthier things, and cut off all the sweets and stuff like that, because it's just it's attacking me in multiple angles. I feel bloated. Certain body parts hurting. Yeah. Things that I haven't felt before. I feel, my nights are tough, and then it's you become more reliant on it. So you start loving things more. and giving priority to more things that are negative than positive, you know. So, you know, my school and all that stuff, like there's been times where I've literally, I'll do this tomorrow. And then it gets to the point where it's just like, I'm giving priority more to the medical marijuana than school, than other things. You know, I haven't put my family to the side. Like that's one thing that I haven't put to the side. Like that's just way more important than that. And I don't smoke during the day usually. Like I've told you that before. I just don't. Like that's not me, because I like to be in my full senses when I'm on the move. But yeah, I was thinking of it when I was on the way over. I'm like, you know what? I'm glad that I have the strength, the mental strength to stop when I need to stop and put myself back in place. Because if you love yourself and you care for yourself, you do something about it. But if you don't care about anything, you just go with the flow. And I don't like to live that way. You know, I especially now that I have a son, like there's just more responsibilities and more to think about. And I'm like, I want to see my son grow up. I want to see, and I'm not saying medical marijuana kills you, but you know, there's a lot of things, a lot of health issues that can occur by inhalation of marijuana or cannabis that can affect your lungs, your breathing, your heart, and all these other things. So but realistically, right now, I don't have a full dedication to like habits right now that I've created that are saying, hey, Shamir loves himself fully right now. What I can say is that that's why I'm saying there's multiple factors to love. Like, you know, there's loving yourself, loving others, loving the things you do on a daily basis, all those things, right? And I just feel like the love for people and the things around me is completely there, and it's always there. And I never lose that as a priority. Something as basic as like, you know, going to mom and dad's and helping them out whatever they need, or cutting dad's hair, or if you need something, you need a haircut or whatever, boom, I drop what I'm doing for everyone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
My lady needs something, or my son, that's there, and it never stops being. But like, correct. I definitely need to start practicing again, you know, my own self-care, you know, because there's just a lot of things that are, again, it's just, there's so much going on. I'm not even going to just blame it on the medical marijuana. I'm also going to say that, like, there's just so much going on that sometimes you just literally leave things to the side. Sometimes even as eating, like, I just ate before the podcast, you know what I'm saying? I hadn't ate since this morning. So it's like lunch really wasn't there. And it's just like, it's those basic little things that you should be caring about yourself, or like giving more importance. And I don't. Yeah. But I know I'll get back there.
A form of love is taking care of our bodies. So we do need to make sure that we eat well throughout the days. But sometimes because of the daily grind, your mind's already like, okay, I got to get this done and this done and this done. Yeah. Depending what time you wake up, you got to accomplish this. So sometimes you might skip breakfast or lunch or dinner. Some people skip all three, which I don't know how they do that. I can't do that. No. But, you know, you guys have to make sure that you're on top of that stuff too. You know, in Christianity, they say that our body is a temple of God, so we have to treat it with a lot of respect and with a lot of love. Because I mean, at the end of the day, we're living on borrowed time, right? So it's super important that we take care of ourselves, not only mentally and emotionally, but definitely physically as well. You know, I feel like if you truly love yourself, your outward appearance will speak for that, right? You know what I mean? And I don't mean like, you know, if you look abnormal compared to a normal person nowadays, whatever that means to you, doesn't mean you don't love yourself. It's just you love yourself in a different way. But you have to analyze how much do you love yourself, and if you do, how do you prove that? Not to the world necessarily, but to yourself, like, and to the people around you, whether that you know them or not. Like, what qualities about yourself show that you do love yourself, and in turn, you love others. I think one of the key factors that people are missing out on, whether you're in a relationship, like a loving relationship, you're dating somebody, or you're married or whatever, you're only able to love that person so much, but it also is based off of how much you love yourself.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
if you love yourself a lot and you treat yourself with care and respect, you're going to be able to do the same thing with your significant other, your friends, your family members, you know, your pets, whatever.
It's definitely a compliment because of everything. Because it's like, I wanted to bring this quote because it's very, it links to what Nabil's saying. It says, to love someone is to see a miracle invisible to others. I brought this quote because it says so much and so little. I believe that, like anything with mental health or anything within the brain, a lot of things aren't seen, but with actions, you know, like
100%.
You have to show them with actions. It's not that it's not what people what they care about, you know what I'm saying, or what they say about you. That doesn't matter. It's about you showing it, no matter what anybody says. You proving to yourself that these are the things that you do. So essentially, because it is invisible, and no matter how much you say out your mouth, that doesn't matter. It's about you're there when somebody needs you. You're at the gym when you need to be. You're eating when you need to. It's just all these different things and different angles that sometimes people confuse it of like, why are you trying to prove the world? It's not that. It's just literally, it's invisible. So I have to make it visible. How? By actions, whatever actions may be, because sometimes it could just be a simple text as like, hey, good morning, hopefully you have a great day, or because that's a huge thing, recognition to people, like you showing them that you acknowledge them, that it's just a simple hello, or approaching them by their name, like, hey Nabil, how are you, or hey Nabil, have a great day. You know, if you work at a restaurant or something like that, hey, is Nabil in here? I want him to take care of me, you know, or whatever. You know, those little things, it shows care, you know, and it's a part, it's a factor of love, you know.
Yeah, and when people reciprocate and give it back to you, like, it's just a good feeling.
For sure. And at the end of the day, you know, start with yourself. Love yourself before you love others. We say this on all the podcasts as possible. Everything starts with yourself. Once you start that, then you could start working on other people and other things in your life that line up. And just have that in mind, that there's a lot of things that aren't seen. The same thing, the love of God, the word, all these things, you know, a lot of things there's a lot of negative things going on in the house of God, in the temples nowadays.
What if people ask you, like, if they come up to you and they're like, Shamir, what does that mean? What does the love of God mean? Like, how does God love if there's a lot of bad things happening?
Right. So, okay. There's multiple factors to
yes, there is.
We'll start off by that. So I would break it down saying, hey, there's multiple factors. There's not just one way to say God's love is God's love. But what I can say for a fact, in my life, I've seen God's love in the tough situations in my life where
that's normally when we'll see it
the most,
and then once we get to the other side, the journey itself, and then get to the other side.
Because you're just like, there's certain things that are not human, that can't be controlled by us, that when you look back at those things, you're just like, in those memories or whatever, you're just like, man, this is definitely that upper power that's taking care of me or us.
Yeah.
That there's just no way that I went through this situation and I made it out alive, or I made it through.
That's right.
That season in time. So that's one way I could say I've seen God in my life and his love for me. The things he does for my loved ones too, the surroundings. I'm just like, man, you know, for them not giving up, they have been blessed, and God has opened doors that haven't been, that weren't even imagined that could be open, and they are. Man, as simple as the blessings of opening up the fridge and living in a good house and having the things I have. I'm just like, I've worked for these things, but it's also been the blessing of, you know, God giving back to me through the world, you know. And if we're talking about materialistic things, because that's another thing, some people see the love of God through blessings that are materialistic, and it could be, you know.
I feel like it's 50-50 with it. Some people idolize the fact that, oh, I have the best luxurious car or the hottest girl or whatever, and you're kind of missing the point there. That's not the point, because that could be temporary.
For sure.
Not everlasting.
Yeah.
And I think God's love, the purpose behind his love, is something that'll last forever.
Yeah.
For eternity, even past our lifetime.
I think also one of the biggest blessings that God gave me was the knowledge and intuition and understanding of not just his word, but understanding how life works through my experiences and giving me the inside discernment to see things before they occur.
Yeah.
And just kind of like stay woke like an eagle, you know? And those things that I was like, at one point in my life, I was just like school wasn't a thing for me. Book smart was not a thing for me. I was just like, whatever I know out of life is just my life experiences. But all these things that he gave to me down the road in life, I'm just forever blessed and forever thankful because of that. And that to me is where I've seen the love of God, that you just know it doesn't work just you doing things. You know that the world rotates in a certain way that you're just like, yeah, it's definitely God. And that,
for sure.
And that's just how I can explain it in my words. But I know internally when you see it for yourself, you will definitely be like, well, like they might be onto something there on the Bump podcast.
I guess so. There's multiple ways that God shows love, and in Scripture it talks about that stuff, and we won't be able to discuss everything, obviously, but just little things you guys could take as notes and look into it yourself. Of course, love is God's nature. The Bible says that God is the source of love, and that any love we have for God is a response to the love for us, to his love for us. Excuse me. Love is a way of relating. In 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8, it describes love as a way of relating to others, right? Which is what we talked about earlier in this episode, how you got to relate to others, connect with people. It's not just a feeling. And then in that book, it lists 8 things love embraces and 8 things love resists. You guys can dive deeper and do your research and whatnot. John 15:13, it talks about love being sacrificial. Greater love has no one than this, that someone lays down his life for his friends, right? And I feel like you can take that in multiple ways. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a preacher. I'm still learning, as many Christians are. My understanding from this is what it says it is essentially like you're willing to give up your life for the people you care about, and maybe not just literally like, oh, I'm going to take a bullet for you, but just going out of your way for the people you love.
Right.
You know? And that's a very important thing. Love is for everyone on this planet, but you know, everyone has to be willing to embrace it on their own. Yeah. In their own time and things like that. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a practice. Love is patient and love is kind. That's it. It says that in 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8, again, in that same passage, as I mentioned in the first one, relating to love, or love is a way of relating, excuse me. Says love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast or dishonor others. Again, you can deep dive more into that and get a better sense of what it's saying. But, I mean, it's pretty straightforward there.
Right.
This also applies to a lot of people in a marriage or something like that. You shouldn't envy anyone. You shouldn't brag about, you know, I have the best partner in the world. Do you? Nah, maybe not so much. Like, no, you don't do that. Love is something beautiful. Yeah, you should talk about it, but not in a bragging way. But rather, man, look how blessed I am that I have people who love me. You know, I have a great partner. I have a son, and da-da-da-da. You know, and I'm so proud, and I don't deserve this, but I have it, and I've worked hard, and, you know,
for sure.
Different things. Love is selfless, right? In that same 1 Corinthians, it says that love is not self-seeking and doesn't compete or doesn't keep a record of wrongdoings.
Yeah.
I have done that before. I think we've all done that in different situations. Don't do that. Why? Because instead of building up your love, what it's doing, it's building up resentment and hatred and disgust and things like that. And then at the end of the day, that love is going nowhere.
No, for sure.
Love is merciful and compassionate. Love is benevolent and gracious. You guys could keep reading on and on and on, but these are little tidbits to have in the forefront of your head so that you can look into it more, put it into practice, share it with people that you love and care about, and think that maybe this person needs to hear a little bit more about love, because they're a little too salty when I come across them when anybody approaches them. So just keep that in mind. Loving people can be important for many reasons, including some of the things we've already touched base upon. But just to kind of leave you guys with this, mental and physical health, of course, right? It improves your immune system, your blood pressure, and overall health. It can also help you heal faster and live longer. Mm-hmm. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to die at like 50 or 60. Mm-hmm. I don't want to die tomorrow. We don't know when it's going to happen, right? If it's our time, God's going to call us, and it is what it is. It doesn't matter what you want or I want. It's going to happen.
Right.
But if we can have some sort of control in it, we need to have love so that we can live as long as we can. I mean, look at some of these people that have been, celebrities, let's say, that have been passing away. For all you Harry Potter fans, Dame Maggie Smith, she played Professor McGonagall, and she passed away at 89.
Yeah, it's a good number.
Holy cow. James Earl Jones, who voiced Darth Vader and Mufasa. Geez,
let's not start with that one. That one's...
He died
at Disney that day, man. And
yeah.
This man hits me with that text. It was raining terribly that day. Terribly. That's how you know, like he entered heaven, because there's just no way there was so much rain, dude. And this man texts me, and my phone was in my backpack. When I pulled it out, it was like an hour later that I responded to the text. I actually called Nabil, and he's like, yeah, James Earl Jones died. And I'm like,
never even got to meet him, but I do have his autograph thanks to a friend of mine.
Really? Oh man, that's a heavenly picture there, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
He died at 92.
Yeah.
I had somebody else in mind. Stan Lee too. Marvel fans. One of the most important people in the entire Marvel company. He created so many of the beloved characters we all grew up loving, and he died at 94 or something like that. I don't remember.
Right.
Had the pleasure of meeting him for sure. Like 2012, 2013, something like that. So, and it seems like he was always a loving person, and I mean, people loved him all the way around. Obviously, I don't know his personal life, but it seemed like he was always beloved. So for people to live that long, hopefully you're hoping, like, man, I hope they were surrounded by people who loved them, because that's freaking awesome.
For sure.
Love is important for stress relief. It can help counteract the body's fight or flight response, which can obviously be triggered by stress. Happiness. Love can make you feel happier and more optimistic. Connection. It can help you feel a sense of connection, belonging, and comfort. Productivity. In the workplace, a culture of love can lead to happier employees, higher sales, and increased customer satisfaction. Are all the companies out there listening to this?
Capitalism is above love nowadays in these businesses.
I would say it's common sense, but common sense isn't common anymore.
Right.
It should be like obscured sense.
Yeah,
they should change it to that word or something like that, because this is exactly what I've been talking about time and time again with you, with people in our personal lives, as well as on here. If every company were to apply to this to their work environment, I guarantee you your productivity would just be skyrocketing through the roof. You'd be able to get production done better. People would be happier coming into work instead of living off of coffee or tea. And
leave my coffee alone. I love my coffee.
No, hey, no judgment here, but I'm just saying sometimes even people with coffee, they're just grouchy and grumpy and hating life.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like,
yeah, I feel
you. And obviously a form of people feeling loved is if they get, some good raises for their hard work. Don't give them no frou 20 cents or 15 cents. No, man, give them that $1, give them that $2.
Yeah.
Don't be so cheap.
Yeah.
Give them a nice holiday bonus. I'm not talking about, again, no frou coupon to go and get a turkey. Anybody can get a turkey.
Yeah.
Give them a bonus where they can actually buy a gift for their loved ones, or they can go and have a nice dinner with their loved ones.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, it's just, you got to reward them. Stop being so freaking stingy when it comes to loving on people. And I don't mean just gifting someone, but make the employee feel valued.
Right.
And they will work better for you. It's common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, love leads to healing. Research suggests that long-term partners who have had heart surgery are more likely to survive the first 3 months after surgery than single patients.
Wow.
That kind of sucks, but I get where they're coming from with it. And of course, love provides more energy. People in love often have increased energy, which can make them more excited to try new things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we're going to leave it at that. There's so many things you guys can find, so many resources online. Also, if you go to, different books at Barnes & Noble, like we like to talk about a lot, you go to Barnes & Noble and you find so many different books that can help you out, so many different methods. You have to go out and seek. I brought this real quick. My wife doesn't know I brought it, but I brought this little thing here because she got it recently, right? It says prayers to share 100 notes of love to affirm your marriage. And you open it up like that. And it's like a little, the light's not really there. There we go. Maybe you guys can see it better there. Pause the video and you'll be able to see, hopefully. Anyway, you could write the date down. I don't know if you see that. Yeah. But it has a note. It has a Bible verse. And then it says like a quote from a particular individual within the Christian community. This is just a quick example. I love it when you laugh. I pray that God fills our marriage with even more of that wonderful sound, the sound of laughter. And then, of course, the Bible verse says, Proverbs 17:22, a joyful heart is good medicine. And then this individual, Chuck Swindoll, he's been on the radio. He's mentioned laughter is the most beautiful and beneficial therapy God ever granted humanity. And then, so yeah, you just kind of write the date down and then you give it to someone. Cool. Well, your significant other, I suppose. And it just brightens their day. Like the other day, my wife went ahead and, silly person that she is, she goes ahead and I'm about to hop in the shower, and then all of a sudden I just hear the little paper just go whoosh right underneath the freaking door. I'm like, what the heck? And then I just looked at it, and then I read it. I was like, oh, this is really nice. I didn't expect it. This is kind of cool. Yeah. And I have it on
little details.
Yes, it goes a long way, and again, it motivates you in more ways than one. So yeah, we thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope that this episode was enlightening, that you learned something from it, that you can share it with all of your loved ones, because it's something that we need to bring more awareness to. Mm-hmm. It's something that needs to be talked about every single day, not once a year.
For sure.
That makes no sense. Make sure you go out into the world. Love your loved ones, love your neighbors, love your coworkers. If you don't know how, again, there's plenty of resources. Prayer, read different books, read the Bible. Come back to this episode of the Bump Podcast. Yep. Ask us questions, reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to help. And if we can't, we will happily figure out a way to direct you to someone who's way more knowledgeable than us, way more experienced than us, that can hopefully help you out and open new doors for you so that you can grow and become a better version of yourself tomorrow.
For sure. And I'm going to leave you on this note. Love the enemy.
But what do you mean by that, Shamir? That's a topic for another day.
But definitely love those people that help you learn through negative situations. Let's put it like that.
Help you grow.
And if you guys notice, on every single podcast since we started to this day, it's the same thing I'm going to say right now. We love you.
We do love you.
We thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the ringle-dingle-dingle.
Don't forget that.
And follow us on all our social platforms, please. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love you guys as always, and have a great week. Also, real quick, this is September 30th, so that's Love Others Day. So on Wednesday when this releases, it'll probably be October 2nd. Yeah. So just so you guys know, you guys don't get confused or whatever. But anyways,
or don't crucify us because
exactly,
we're a little late.
Yeah, we're a little early but late. Anyways,
correct.
So y'all take care and have a great week, guys.
Did you mention to them to make sure to click the ringle-dingle-dingle? You missed it again.
Yeah, no, I did say the ringle.
You did it? I missed it.
He missed it. He's not paying attention. Anyways, see you guys later. Take care.
Have a great week.